What's going on, guys? It's Patrick here. Welcome back to the channel, and today, guys, we're going to be looking at the top 10 most hidden or rare chests in all of Fortnite. Now, although not rare on their own, loot chests have become one of the most important and crucial aspects in Fortnite to actually helping you win games. Every single chest that you come across is guaranteed to give you a gun, supplies, ammo, and a heal. And with increased odds of getting rare loot, it's absolutely critical to getting these things at the start of games as well as towards the end when you're dwindling on supplies. And although a lot of them are very common to the player, just being hidden in attics and little huts, there are some that you probably didn't even know exist. Maybe you're just at 75 health and you gotta find that slurp potion or whatever. It's always good to know where some hidden chests are that other players probably haven't come across. And today, guys, we're going to be looking at the top 10 rarest. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and could subscribe, that would be most appreciated. But anyways, guys, let's get into it. Number 10, the tunnel near Tomato Town. So Tomato Town is probably one of my favorite places to go in Fortnite just because it's got a lot of stuff, but not too much to bring like tons and tons of players to. And there's actually a super hidden chest near here. Basically, when you're leaving Tomato Town going through the tunnel, you can walk straight through and there's actually a hidden area. You simply just have to go up to the wall across from the staircase that leads up to the top of the mountain, break the wall, and you're going to have either an ammo crate, a chest, or both located there. Now, although it is extremely hidden, the one thing with this spot is it's becoming more known just due to the fact that if any player is walking by there and it's already been opened up, you're obviously going to see the big hole in the wall. But I've also seen a lot of people say that they didn't even know that secret room was there, and I think it's a very, very nice little helpful spot to know about in case you're just low on anything while you're going towards the middle of the map or towards the circle. Number 9, Lonely Lodge's hidden cave. So Lonely Lodge is honestly an extremely low-key place to go in Fortnite that I think a lot of people underestimate. And just next to the lodge on top of the big hill in the forested area, there is a chest that I think a lot of people probably know about. But what you may not have known about, and you see in the gameplay here, is if you actually go underneath, there's this little hidden crevice in this like cave area. It worked out perfectly in this gameplay because I saw the guy going for the up top one. I was like, no problem, I got this, man. Go down to the bottom one, and I end up being able to take Oh. The other thing that's really nice about this place is after you've finished looting the cave, you can go to the actual lodge itself, and there's always a bunch of chests located up in the attic. And again, Lonely Lodge is one of those lesser known places, so I feel like this is overall a really good strategy to run. Now, moving down to our number 8 spot, guys, we've got a bit of a specific one here, which is on top of the Optimus Prime truck over towards the east side of the map. This is the spot that's pretty close to like the trailer park, as well as it's not too far out from Retail Row, and this is just a very random drop. It's not a spot that I would really recommend landing in, as you're only gonna get that one chest, so one gun, and then you're gonna have to continue on and go find more stuff. But it's definitely something that if you're just in that area and you're like, oh, I know a chest spot there, it's always nice to pick up. Plus, it's probably one of the coolest structures on the island, so I think it definitely deserves a little bit of notoriety here. Number 7, the dump truck near Pleasant Park. So just north of Pleasant Park, there's this area that has a house, a shack, and this little dump truck that's very, very low-key as well as very unknown. It's just one of those random areas that not a lot of people go to, but it's actually a great starting point. You can drop down, hit a couple chests, kill whoever you need to kill, and then make your way to Pleasant Park and pick off any remaining stragglers. But there's actually been a very recent update with the 1.11 patch that introduced another chest spawn in the dump truck next to this building. Now, it's the exact same idea as the dump truck in the factory, which is something I didn't really want to cover because I feel like everybody's seen that before, but it's definitely something worth noting. It's always been a good starting point for players, and with the addition of this new chest in the dump truck, it's even better. Number 6, the radio tower. All right, so this is a spot that I feel like is not really worth going, but it is certainly one of those random hidden chests in Fortnite. Between Dusty Depot and Tomato Town, there are a whole bunch of blue transformers running along, and one of them actually has a chest spawn on top of it. Now, this is a bit of a risky one because if you actually land on top of it in the spawn like you see me do, you can't get down without taking fall damage. You can't actually build down from it, so basically, if you're going to go for this, I highly recommend building yourself up to it after you've already been playing a little bit. It's one of those things that you want to make a mental note of when you're spawning down, maybe you're going to Depot or the factory, and then as you're continuing on your game, if you're heading towards Tomato Town or Loot Lake or wherever, you can go and pick this up. But that being said, even in my game, I picked this one up and just continued onto the factory, which has a ton of really, really good chests, and it ended up working pretty well for me. Again, though, the only thing is you are going to take fall damage, so that's very important to note. Number 5, behind Anarchy Acres. So this is one of those just super random, super low-key chest spawns that I don't really personally recommend, but it's very good to know about. This is something that I never go to because the odds of this chest spawning in seem to be really low. Like, it took me 5 tries to find this chest for gameplay, but it's something that you want to know about. So you basically dive down behind Anarchy Acres, and right behind the big farmhouse, there's like this sort of hill thing. And if you go down, just dive in, you're actually going to see this little breakable area behind this hill that's got either a chest, a supply drop, or both. It's not really something that I recommend going from the start. Mind you, it did work out for me a few times because basically what happens is you go for that. If you manage to find it, you can then continue on and just pick up some stragglers. People are not going to expect you coming from that back area. But again, it's not something you really want to bet on. I had very bad odds at actually finding this thing, so I don't want to recommend it. But at the same time, it's like if you're at Anarchy and you're just trying to chill there for a little bit maybe, and you're like, yo, I could use some extra stuff, this is definitely something to remember. And at the very worst, there's going to be an ammo box there, so you're going to find at least something. Number 4. The Christmas trees. Now, anyone that's already played the 1.11 update or even seen my video from a couple days ago is going to know a lot of these locations. Basically, for the winter update, they have taken out some areas of maps and actually implemented this sort of Christmas tree type area. And underneath the Christmas tree, we have gifts in the form of rare chests. Now, these Christmas trees are absolutely amazing because they're always guaranteed to spawn at least 1 chest, but can actually go all the way up to 3. And these Christmas trees can be found all around the island, including on Loot Lake, Anarchy Acres, Pleasant Park, Greasy Grove, Retail Row, and Fatal Fields. So a strategy that I've been seeing a lot of people do is go to like an area that's just completely across the map where you're not gonna have a lot of people spawning in and just going straight for the Christmas tree, because you're basically guaranteed 1 chest, but could get up to 3, which basically, if you get lucky, will set you up for the game. These chests are heavily contended, and it's going to set you up in an area that is very, very vulnerable. But the thing is if you can get this stuff, it's going to be a huge help. Number 3, the many hidden chests of Fatal Fields. So over the last couple of weeks, Fatal Fields has slowly become one of my favorite areas to go. And that's because there are so many hidden chests that people don't know about. You've got a ton of them behind haystacks and in hidden buildings under silos, but the big thing is actually around the perimeter, you've got a bunch of rare chests. Now, the first spot that we have is just to the northeast of Fatal Fields, which is the quarry. Right in the middle, there's this like big hill that's actually got a hole in it. You can fall down, and right on top of it, there's actually going to be a chest location. From there, you can actually continue on back to Fatal Fields, and there's this like sort of creek little thing that's flowing through, and if you follow this creek, you're actually going to find another hidden chest. You can also find chests in both of the forests next to Fatal Fields, as well as there's a hidden one in the quarry. And you've probably known about one of those or maybe a few of them, but there's just so many spots in Fatal Fields that people don't know about. It's really important to remember. But ladies and gentlemen, this brings us down to our number 2 spot, which is very close to Fatal Fields and is actually kind of related to what I'm talking about. It's between the prison and Fatal. So this is just a random house with a random basement and 1 random chest. No one ever goes here because it's just very random and in the middle of nowhere. But it's not actually quite in the middle of nowhere. So you can hit this one and continue on with an amazing, absolutely amazing route. Basically, you hit this random house and continue on to Fatal Fields. And by this point, there's going to be some fighting done, but not all of it. You now know literally every chest in Fatal Fields, and there's going to be a bunch of missed chests, so you can go hit them and basically just stock up like crazy. I played this route for the first time ever, and I ended up coming in 2nd place. With 2 RPGs, I had like over 6 shields. It's just absolutely ridiculous for loot. Now, before we get down to our number 1 spot, guys, I've got a bit of an honorable mention, which is going to be the water tower at Retail Row. And the other honorable mention that I wanted to give out are the transfer trucks sort of located next to Retail Row in that like quarry with all the trees. There's actually 3 different trucks, and basically every time I run through there, there's always at least 1 chest in the back of the truck. Most of the transfer trucks in Fortnite have their back doors closed, and people just don't even think to look in some of them, but this is the one area of the map where they're actually open and you can find chests. It's again one of those things that you don't really want to go for a starting strategy with, but it is super low key and I think it's important to know. But ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our #1 spot, we've got a chest so rare, so random, and just so hidden, I didn't even know about it. So for this video, I actually reached out to you guys on Twitter and someone linked me a video from the YouTuber That Denver Guy with a spot that I have never seen before. It is one of the most northeasternly points in the entire game, over even beyond Wailing Woods, and there's this random transfer truck that behind it, it's like halfway off the cliff and has this random chest in it. It's a very bad area to go, but it's just so out there. There's a website that I'll link down below that actually shows every single chest as well as new chests added into the game every update, and this isn't even on it. It's a terrible spot to go because you're basically behind Wailing Woods. You have to continue on through there or maybe go like north more or south more. It's just a bad spot, but let me tell you, it is one hidden chest. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. If there's any chests on this list that you didn't know about, please feel free to let me know as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you later. Peace out, you freaking nerds.